going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and for today I wanted to do another top 10 video for you guys. This one has been requested quite a lot on the channel lately, so I am sorry for taking so long in making this one. I won't drag it out too long. Let's get right into it. I'm going to give you guys my top 10 best tier 2 natives, and at the end of the video I'll leave you guys with a few honorable mentions. So with that said, guys, let's dive right into it. Number 10 for me is actually going to be the boogeyman of the Black Order, Corvus Glaive. This guy has an amazing kit, especially if you're new to the game. Absolutely recommend that you pick him up as one of the first tier 2 natives that you work on, because his kit overall is very good. It comes with damage block, which is not shown here, but believe me, it is there. It comes with summons that pull aggro. He also has an amazing 4-star passive that revives him after he dies with maximum HP. So if you're like me and half the time you don't know what the hell you're doing and you're just swinging blindly and your character dies, don't worry, he will revive with max HP and you can make all the same mistakes again, and in most cases you'll probably still have enough DPS to get the job done, because if you build them very offensively, this 2 skill is a nasty skill that can actually one-shot enemies in most cases. I implore you guys to actually build them very offensively when it comes to the ISO set, but for the obelisk, you can go either way. You can go to damage proc if you want to use him in something like ABX, because he's actually one of the highest scorers for Universal Supervillain Day. But if you want to make him a PvP character, go ahead and give him invincibility, and that's going to make him harder to kill the first time, and then when he dies, harder to kill the second time. So definitely a good character for both game modes. Overall, he's great for PvP, great for PvE, so you got to put him on this list. Amazing character, guys. Number 9, just above Corvus, is actually going to be Dormammu. Similar to Corvus, he actually has some amazing DPS. Well, he has better DPS than Corvus. He has better survivability in the fact that he can actually reflect damage back at the enemy. He has another iframe right here. The 5 is also an iframe, so he has more iframes than Corvus. He has more ways to protect himself, and he also has this freaking passive, the same passive that Corvus has, that he can revive himself after he dies, and on top of that, he actually heals. So he has more survivability than Corvus. However, he has double the cost. Okay, so that's kind of the downside with Dormammu. He comes at double the cost in terms of building him, so be forewarned. However, he's an amazing asset to have on your roster. Amazing, truly amazing for PvE and PvP. Absolutely love Dormammu, one of my favorite characters. Similar to Corvus, you want to build them very offensively. As you guys can see, I spared no expense. I actually went all in on him. I gave him a 200% damage proc, so kind of the opposite of Corvus in this case, because I was using him in Extreme AB for the longest time, and some days I still use him because he's a very good character. So just above Dormammu is actually going to be my favorite character overall in this game. If you've been following me for a while, you already know who this is, and that is Cable. Now, a lot of people are immediately going to be like, what the hell? Why is Cable so low on this list? Well, every other character that I put on this list is great for both PvE and PvP. Cable is only above Dormammu and Corvus because he does so well in PvE. Cable has the highest DPS, well, one of the highest DPS in the game. He can kill the majority of the game's content in seconds, and to be honest, if you use him manually in PvP and you don't get pierced on his invincibility on the 5 skill right here, you can one-shot a lot of people. However, Cable is designed in such a way where he does not do very well in PvP encounters. So that's why he's so low on this list for me. Even though he's my favorite character in the game, I cannot rank him any higher than this. Sorry, cannot do it. So for me, Cable is kind of a one-trick pony where he will kill anything you put him up against in PvE, but when it comes to PvP, his survivability is just not there. It's just not there. Invincibility is not what it once was in this game. Too many people have pierced. There's too many ways to deal damage to people with invincibility. You can reflect the damage back at them, and even if they're invincible, they will still take damage. So yeah, gotta put Cable at number 8 because he does so well in PvE, and I strongly debated even putting him there, but there is no one else that would have filled this spot in my heart and, to be honest, in this list. So yeah, Cable for me, number 8. Number 7 is actually going to be a character that is overall fantastic. one of my favorite females in this game and in the Marvel Universe in general, Scarlet Witch. That's Bay, okay? Amazing character from top to bottom. Everything is phenomenal. Amazing leadership, amazing 5 skill, which gives her a buff to her overall DPS on top of her freaking leadership. On top of that, guys, right here, she has a guard for survivability. On top of that, she has damage immunity. And whenever she uses this skill, she reflects damage as a part of her freaking 4 skill. And she also recovers. She is the complete package. She has iframes. She can also decrease the enemy's resistances to buffers damage even further. It is just amazing. She can also pierce super armor. She can pierce shield barriers, damage immunity, all that good stuff. Like, she's the perfect package. The perfect package. Absolutely love Scarlet Witch. She is definitely worth investing in. I just wish a little bit of her skills weren't so wonky and she would have definitely been higher on this list. That is the only problem I have with the character. But overall, amazing DPS, amazing survivability. If you build her up, you will definitely not regret it. Scarlet Witch, great overall for every single game mode. Number 6 for me, guys, is actually going to be Apocalypse. Believe it or not, Apocalypse is number 6. Overall, a great character. He comes with an amazing tier 2 passive. It doesn't look like much, but the ignore dodge for me is a big deal. He also comes with this nasty 2 skill that has a fear. He can buff himself with his 3 skill. On top of that, his freaking 5 skill has a heal on it, and his 4 skill has damage block. So absolutely love freaking Apocalypse. He's great across the board. I don't get to use him as much as I would like to because I don't have him completed yet, but believe me when I say in everything I've put him in, he's impressed me so far. Definitely deserving of the 6th spot in my eyes. Number 5, and I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, I don't know how I feel about that, but for me, it was an easy decision. Old Man Thanos. Absolutely love this guy. Gotta be in the uniform. Gotta say that. The uniform has to be on him. Otherwise, he's at the end of this list. I would say just above Corvus, but behind Dormammu. Okay? So keep that in mind. He's holding down this 5th spot simply because of this uniform and what it does for him. Thanos is similar to Scarlet Witch, where he has the complete package. Amazing leadership, truly amazing leadership, amazing 5 skill with an iframe and damage immunity. 4 skill has an iframe and it does a ton of freaking damage. 4-star passive, you guys can see, right? He heals and he becomes immune to damage. 3 skill is an iframe. 2 skill has amazing damage and it channels. We got a debuff removal and we got invincibility. And as you guys can see right here, he becomes immune to damage. Well, he gets invincibility when you use this skill. So this and this work hand in hand. Overall, great character for every single game mode. So I gotta give him the number 5 spot. Old Man Thanos holding it down. Can't wait to see his next uniform for Infinity Wars. I feel like it's going to be even more offensive than this one because this one is kind of like a complete balance where you can put him in any game mode and he will dominate. And I can't wait to see what happens when he gets the new uniform. Is he going to lose some of his tankiness and become a more offensively minded character? Or are they going to add on to this in a way that he stays what he is, which is well-rounded and has more damage and more survivability than ever before? I'm just excited. I'm so excited. But yeah, number 5 for me, Old Man Thanos, guys. Number 4, I struggled with this. I wanted to put Thanos higher than him, but I absolutely could not, simply because he's holding down ABX and he's been holding it down, and I don't see him getting dethroned for a little while, and that's actually Wolverine. Wolverine. It's crazy because when you compare him to some of the other characters below him, he doesn't have that much. He has a great freaking tier 2 passive. Best. It is the best. Definitely one of the best tier 2 passives in the game, for sure. But apart from that, all you're really left with is an amazing 4-star passive. So both his passives are great. And you have an amazing 5 skill that has a ton of damage. That's it. There's really only 3 things in Wolverine's kit that's making him great. But those 3 things combined is freaking ridiculous. So not really too much you can say about Wolverine. He's a super tanky character, as he should be, and he has the damage to back it up. So definitely an amazing character, one that I use consistently to counter Quicksilver, similar to what I do with Thanos. My Thanos can actually counter Quicksilver as well. So for those of you guys who are looking for counters to Quicksilver, yeah, pick up Wolverine and Thanos, and your life will definitely be significantly easier. I can guarantee that. So number 3, boys, number 3, and here's where the debate starts. I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, nah, he shouldn't be so high, he's getting old, he should definitely be lower on this list. But for me, he's still this high, and for good reason, and that is Stephen. Dr. Stephen Strange. Doctor Strange, man, absolutely love this guy. Now, similar to Thanos, I gotta say this though, disclaimer, he has to have this uniform. Without the uniform, he's low, real low on this list. I would say maybe 7th or 8th. So keep that in mind. The uniform is what makes Doctor Strange kind of Doctor Strange in this game. I know he's still great because he has the time freeze, but the most deadly thing about Doctor Strange is the fact that he can reflect damage back in your face and literally be healing at the same time. So you could bring him down to being at, like, I would say 10 health, and he could literally just start spamming the demons of Danak and recover back to freaking full health and just watch you kill yourself. So that's one of the deadliest things about Doctor Strange, and coupled with the time freeze, is just a really, really nasty combination. His kit overall is great. I'm not trying to say he's a one-trick pony. He comes with damage immunity. He comes with long iframe on the 4 with a stun. On top of that, his freaking 3 skill, sorry, not his 3 skill, his 2 skill will remove your buffs. So yeah, and he has another stun on the 1. Overall, a very, very good kit. But the 2 deadliest things about this guy, man, is the fact that he can freeze you with the freaking time freeze skill, and he can just spam the demons of Danak to heal like seriously, guys, and just freaking reflect damage right back in your face. And no matter how powerful the character is, everyone can get the damage reflected back at them, and it's never fun. Like, I've actually used my Doctor Strange to reflect damage back into the face of people like Quicksilver and Jean Grey and just literally watch them kill themselves. So yeah, gotta do it. Gotta do it. Doctor Strange holding down the number 3 spot for me. And number 2, you guys already know who that's gonna be. The guy that gives you nightmares, because I know for sure he used to give me nightmares until I found out how to kill his ass ridiculously easy, and that is Quicksilver, man. This freaking guy is a pain in the ass. He is a pain in the ass, and he needs to be banned from timeline at some point. It's been months, and people have been crying and begging and pleading, and he's never gotten banned even once. Like, Quicksilver is one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe. I gotta say that. I love speedsters. Maybe that's just me. I love the Flash in DC as well, so I think I just have a thing for speedsters. But yeah, freaking Quicksilver, this freaking 4-star passive. I know it says 70% chance to penetrate pretty much everything, but it's literally 100% chance because of how often Quicksilver hits. And when he hits you with the 5-4, you are no more. You're dead. Literally dead. There's not that many characters in the game, even the tankiest of characters. People with damage reflect like Dormammu will still die. People like Thanos, who's very, very tanky, will still die. Like, my freaking Quicksilver doesn't even have an obelisk yet. And the majority of the characters that I put him up against, he literally just one-shots them. The only person that ever really gives me any trouble is Wolverine in his uniform. For that, I just hit my 3 skill to give myself a damage bump, and then Wolverine goes bye-bye. So yeah, this guy, a nasty character, one that you don't want to face in PvP, and he does very, very well in PvE, similar to all of the other characters on this list, with the exception of Cable. Cable's the only character on this entire list that doesn't shine in both sections of the game. Everyone else will do great in Shadowland, they'll do great in World Boss, and they'll do great in ABX. He's the only one that only does great in ABX. Number 1, the queen of Marvel Future Fight, still the queen. I know a few of you guys will say, no, it's Quicksilver. No, it's Quicksilver. It's Jane. It's Jane, baby. It's Jane. The redhead is here, and she's still gonna be here for a very long time based on the looks of this game. I just gotta say it. It's Jean Grey, baby. She is freaking amazing. Amazing, truly amazing. 5 skill is great. On top of that, her freaking leadership makes it so that she can't be stunned. You can't do nothing to her, okay? I know the cooldown looks like it's a long time, but all you gotta really do is hit one of her iframes and you're golden. Literally, iframe on the 4, iframe on the 3, slight iframe on the 1. She can time freeze, she can revive, freaking iframe. Like seriously, I want this. Like, if this skill hits you, it's kind of getting hit with the freaking Days of Thunder freaking skill from Quicksilver. Like, it's done. It's done. It's literally, all you gotta do is hit 5-4 and they're dead. Similar to Quicksilver, the 5-4 combo on Jean Grey is just too nasty for anyone to ever really like contest her outside of Quicksilver. So that's why they gotta be 1 and 2. But even Quicksilver only has 1 life. You gotta take 2 from Jean. So if Quicksilver somehow manages to take out Jean once, as soon as I revive, generally I just hit the 4 skill and Quicksilver just goes for a nap. So gotta give it up to Jean. She can hold her own in every section of the game. On autoplay, doesn't matter. You could freaking close your eyes and she could win you all your timeline matches. Like, it's that easy to play Jean Grey. So I gotta give it up to Jean Grey. So yeah, guys, that is actually going to be the list from 1 to 10. That is it. However, I gotta throw in a few honorable mentions here, and the first of those is actually gonna be Old Man Odin. I'm very sad that he's not on the top 10 for me, guys, but he's actually still pretty decent. I still use him in ABX for Universal Superhero Day. Leadership is very good. Great 5 skill for the DPS, 4 skill very same, and 3 skill for the guard, 2 skill for the iframe. Overall, very good kid. He just needs some more survivability, to be honest with you. He needs a couple more iframes or something, or maybe a longer, like I would say a few more seconds of immunity here would definitely do something for him. But for now, Odin, you gotta be just outside. Your time is kind of up, gotta say. Now, next after Odin, I gotta give it up to Ebony Maw, a character kind of similar to Corvus, where he's very easy to play. And if you're new to the game, instead of building one of those heavy hitting tier 2 natives that cost double the resources, it would probably be on the smarter end of things to actually build Ebony and Corvus, because of the fact that Ebony is very easy to use, and once you get max skill cooldown, you can use these 2 skills, the 5 and the 4, and literally be in a state where you cannot be hit. You're going to be completely iframed. So yeah, 5-4 combo. On top of that, he has great DPS and he has summons to pull aggro if for some reason you need them. So yeah, gotta put him on the list. Overall, he's great because on top of that, he buffs his own damage. Amazing leadership as well. Last 2 I gotta sneak in here. They're not as good for PvP. Everybody else, like I said, great for PvE, great for PvP. However, these last 2 and Cable are the only characters here on this entire list, so including the mentions, that only really shine in PvE. So keep that in mind. And I gotta throw Proxima in right here because this is my baby, my very first tier 2 native, and to be honest, a very solid character to this day. She does require a little bit of skill to play, but all you gotta really do with her is hit that 5-4-3 combo. If the 5 doesn't get him, the 3 and the 4 will. So yeah, definitely an amazing character, one that I love so much that I almost have her full ISO set fully awakened. So yeah, one day I'll go back and finish her off, but since she's not that great for PvP, that's why she's not done yet. Last one I gotta put in here, and that is Super Giant. Super Giant is kind of a niche character where you're only really gonna find use for her in World Boss and Extreme AB. Whereas for Proxima, you'll find a use for her in Shadowland, very late Shadowland stages at that, and you'll find a use for her in World Boss. However, Proxima needs more skill to use in ABX. With Super Giant, because you have the clone, the Black Bolt puppet right here, you can use her in ABX and she can score very well. She can actually score over 200k for the Universal Supervillain Day. Okay, so it's kind of a 3-4-5 kind of combo, similar to Proxima. However, Proxima, the majority of her damage is on her 5 and you don't need to buff it. For her, you kind of have to buff it, but if you buff the 5 skill with Super Giant, she can actually out DPS Proxima, believe it or not. So yeah, gotta throw her on this list, and that is gonna be the whole roundup, guys. Top 10 best tier 2 natives in my opinion, and a few honorable mentions for you guys. So let me know what your top 10 list is, and that's it for this one. Like always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace and love. I'm sorry, Cable. I had to tell the truth, man. You're great and all, but for me, I'm sad. You're not a PvP warrior, my friend.